Russian commanders keep repeating the same mistakes. Tanks, armored vehicles, and expensive equipment are turning into burning scrap metal. Today, I bring you some of the most intense moments from the Russia-Ukraine battlefield, from the destruction of a $50 million air defense system to the explosion of a massive ammunition depot. A Russian BM-21 Grad rocket launcher was spotted. Ukrainian forces deployed a long-range FPV drone to strike it. A drone that cost just $500 triggered a massive explosion. The Russian Grad launcher was completely destroyed. A Russian Buk air defense system was spotted moving across a Ukrainian field. Its coordinates were quickly reported, and Ukrainian artillery opened fire. With pinpoint accuracy, the Russian air defense system was turned into a spectacular fireball. Another Russian artillery position was discovered. A Ukrainian drone operator deployed a long-range FPV drone to eliminate the target. The drone sliced through the Russian equipment like a hot knife through butter, causing a violent explosion of ammunition. After the failed assault, a Russian armored vehicle was left behind. Ukrainian forces deployed a Baba Yaga drone to finish off the abandoned vehicle. It hit the engine compartment precisely. The Russian vehicle caught fire instantly. Within just a few minutes, the flames reached the ammo storage. Then came this moment. A massive explosion. The Russian infantry fighting vehicle was torn apart. Only a pile of burning wreckage remained. A BM-21 Grad was firing on Ukrainian positions. When it was detected, the crew tried to flee the area, but it was already too late. A Ukrainian FPV drone caught up to the Grad launcher and launched an attack. The drone strike triggered a massive explosion. Just look at the shockwave it created. A Ukrainian recon drone spotted a Russian tank. An FPV drone was immediately dispatched for the strike. The drone hit the rear of the turret, setting off the onboard ammunition. Ukraine's intelligence service intercepted a radio transmission. It came from a Russian command center. 2 Ukrainian MiG-29 fighter jets were dispatched for the mission. They launched precision-guided hammer bombs. The Ukrainian jets struck with precision. The command center was leveled. All of it stemmed from a single vulnerability. An unencrypted communication link. One small oversight turned into a disaster. 2 Russian turtle tanks were carrying out an assault mission. Ukrainian artillery opened fire on the advancing forces. FPV drones soon joined the battle. A swarm of drones was deployed to halt the attack. One by one, the drones launched strikes. The first tank finally came to a stop. And this is what it looked like, covered in cables from front to back and reinforced with 10-15 cm of additional armor plating. Hard to believe this was even a tank. With no weak spots in sight, Ukrainian forces had to send over 50 FPV drones just to stop the advance. A Russian self-propelled howitzer position was located. Ukrainian forces deployed long-range FPV drones to target this high-value asset. A direct hit was confirmed. The Russian howitzer caught fire. Just minutes later, the flames reached the ammo storage. What followed was a massive explosion. A Russian tank was pushing forward. A Ukrainian drone operator launched an FPV drone to stop its advance. The first drone hit the target, but the tank kept moving. A second drone was deployed. The second strike disabled the tank's control system. It rolled into a wooded area and came to a stop. Ukrainian forces launched another FPV drone to finish off the disabled tank. A Russian armored unit consisting of 2 tanks was on a mission when Ukrainian drone operators launched a swarm of drones to stop their advance. After several precise strikes, the Russian tanks were forced to stop. The crews abandoned their vehicles and fled. At the same time, more FPV drones were deployed to finish off the abandoned Russian armor. A Russian Buk M3 air defense system was detected. This type of system is estimated to cost around $50 million. Ukrainian forces deployed an FPV drone to destroy this high-value target. Just like that, a $50 million air defense system was disabled by a drone that cost only $1,000. These two buildings were being used by Russian forces as ammunition depots. Ukrainian FPV drones were sent to strike them. The first drone made contact, but wasn't enough. A second drone was sent in immediately. Reconnaissance confirmed that the first building was destroyed. Ukraine launched another FPV drone to strike the second structure. Ammunition exploded violently. The building was leveled. A vehicle originally meant for ammo transport was abandoned by Russian forces. A Ukrainian drone operator deployed an FPV drone to destroy the vehicle. This destroyed building may look insignificant, but it served as a Russian logistics hub. Ukraine launched a MiG-29 fighter jet, armed with precision-guided hammer bombs to strike the target. The bomb hit the target with precision. The building was completely flattened. Recon confirmed the target was fully destroyed. This Russian monster infantry fighting vehicle was abandoned after a failed assault. Ukrainian forces deployed an FPV drone to finish it off. Its added armor made it much harder to destroy. After several drone strikes, the vehicle finally caught fire. Another abandoned infantry fighting vehicle was also hit by an FPV drone. A Russian tank was left behind after a failed offensive. A Ukrainian drone operator launched an FPV drone to destroy it. Even though the tank had an electronic warfare system on top, the operator still managed to guide the drone into the tank's open hatch and carry out the strike. The direct hit triggered the ammunition inside. The Russian tank was blown to pieces. These buildings were being used by Russian drone operators. Ukraine responded with a Su-24 bomber, armed with hammer bombs to destroy the site. The bombs landed one after another. All that was left was rubble. A Ukrainian drone discovered a Russian ammunition depot. Inside, 120mm mortar rounds were clearly visible. These shells were being used to bombard Ukrainian positions. Ukraine deployed FPV drones to destroy the supply cache. The first drone blasted open the warehouse doors. The second drone flew in slowly to strike the ammo storage. With a precise hit, the depot caught fire. The mortar rounds were destroyed. This was another Russian ammunition depot set up in an abandoned civilian warehouse. It stored rockets for the BM-21 Grad, BM-27 Uragan, and TOS thermobaric systems. Ukraine's military intelligence sent in FPV drones to target the depot. Russian missiles exploded violently, sending thick smoke hundreds of meters into the sky. It was a perfect strike executed by Ukraine's FPV drone unit. A Russian armored team of 2 tanks was carrying out an assault. Ukrainian FPV drones were launched to intercept the advancing vehicles. The first tank was hit with precision, but it continued moving. More drones were immediately sent in. Additional armor plating and anti-drone nets made these tanks much harder to destroy. Even so, Ukrainian FPV drones continued striking relentlessly. After several more hits, the Russian tank was heavily damaged and came to a stop. The crew abandoned the vehicle. At the same time, even more FPV drones were launched to ensure the abandoned vehicles were fully destroyed. a $50 million Russian Buk M3 air defense system was located. Ukrainian intelligence deployed FPV drones to take out the expensive asset. After a precise strike, the $50 million system was destroyed by a drone costing just $1,000. Ukrainian intelligence also identified a Russian Tor air defense system. A Switchblade drone was immediately deployed for the attack. The Ukrainian drone struck with accuracy. The Russian air defense system caught fire.